Hey guys, this is Emperor Abaddon doing a live commentary video for Empire Total War Multiplayer. This is going to be a dual commentary, so co-hosting with me today is Grand Marshall Selah.
Hey guys.
We're fighting on the map Homestead. I command the United States of America. And my ally Grand Marshall Selah is in command of Poland Lithuania. We're currently fighting Dysphoria, who is in command of the Swedish, and also in command of the Russians is Tsar Lukasavage. As we start this battle off, me and Grand Marshal Selah make a mad dash for the ridge in the middle of Homestead. One thing you do want to keep in mind is command of the high elevations on the map is the most important aspect of any battle. Not only does it help with the accuracy of your own troops, but fighting uphill is a major disadvantage for your opponent. Any opinions on that, Grand Marshal?
I completely agree.
So as you can see, I'm sending a couple units of Legion of the United States to take the hill. They are elite skirmishers for the United States, mainly light infantry, but they can act as line infantry or light infantry, which is the very versatile aspect of the Legion of the United States. On the right here, on the flat plateau, I guess you could say, I have my long riflemen moving up to surprise the enemy. I also have a couple light dragoons following them. The main thing you want to keep in mind with the long riflemen, they can hide while they're walking, so they can pop up at any moment on the enemy, which can turn the tide of any battle in your favor. I have a few units of my Marines in Legion, though, trying to cover the left side of this hill. Like I said, maintaining control of the ridges in the middle is absolutely essential to victory. If you don't have the high elevations and your opponent does, you're really spelling doom for yourself.
I completely agree, and over here, I noticed that he was starting to position his cannons, so I decided to rush him. That didn't look good. But I decided to rush him and take out his cannons before he had a chance to fire on my main body.
Now, he was really caught out of position. Throughout the battle, you'll really see that Dysphoria either isn't paying attention or he just doesn't know what he's doing, because you were able to attack his skirmishers with these light dragoons here. You were able to hit his cannons as well. I don't know. What do you think? Was he just not paying attention, or?
Maybe he was just a beginner. You know, you face a lot of beginners. They're more common than elite players. But I also kept in mind I did not want to attack his rifleman while he was in position to fire. Instead, I waited until he was moving, and then I struck.
Now, do you think when riflemen actually open up fire on your cavalry that they're going to do a lot of damage? Because one thing I've seen is with my long riflemen especially, people will be charging cavalry right at them, and when they pop up and take shots, it'll kill entire units of cavalry.
Yeah, you just want to be careful when you're charging your cavalry. They are very, very, very effective because they're so maneuverable. They're very, very sensitive to any combat situation, so you want to be careful on how you use them.
So I can see that we're having a large cavalry fight over on your extreme right of the front here. He has his heavy cavalry engaging your light dragoons in melee. They're not exactly the strongest in melee, but if you use them correctly, they can open up shots on other cavalry. They can really do some serious damage. It looks like your light dragoons are finally routing, though. They can't really put up much of a fight against heavy cavalry, I don't think.
No, as you can see, I started taking howitzer shots at them. I just wanted to neutralize the heavy cavalry, because they are so powerful in melee.
I'm seeing one thing, though. You're using quicklime over percussive shell. Usually when I'm firing on cavalry, I prefer percussive shell. I feel like they have the more potential to do damage. What's the reasoning behind using quicklime?
Well, quicklime is more accurate than percussive. I usually prefer percussive when they're a little bit closer, but for the most part, I use quicklime because I just try to make them rout, to be honest with you.
Now, we're going to take a look at my side of the battle here quick. One thing you'll notice, I was not able to take this central hill in the middle of my side of the battle. Unfortunately, because my Legion couldn't get up there fast enough, so I had to station them at this first section of cover. They are firing into the hill. One thing that you want to pay attention to is their firing elevation. You don't want them shooting into the hill. Not only are they wasting ammunition, they're not killing any of the enemies. Fortunately for me, though, I had my howitzers set up closely behind in order to use quicklime on the enemy. I did talk about quicklime with cavalry, but with infantry, quicklime has the potential to be absolutely devastating.
especially when you focus your shots on the side of the enemy. When it's up front, it's not going to do as much damage, but when they're moving and they're positioned to the side, that's when you want to hit them.
Now, on the right side of the plateau here, I did engage my light dragoons in melee with his cuirassier and other heavy cavalry. That did give my long rifleman the opportunity to move up quickly. I did mention surprise attacks. He is not going to see my long rifleman coming here. He's going to charge his cavalry directly into them, which is going to eliminate his cavalry force and put me at the advantage. Also on the side, one thing I've implemented is sort of an umbrella pattern. While they are firing into the hill, I always like to make it so my men are attacking you from the flank. An important aspect of Empire Total War. You want to have a crossfire on your enemy set up. But we're going to go back over to your side of the battle. It seems like Sweden moved up awfully fast on you. You have any opinions on that?
Yes, as you can see, my line infantry are very grouped together, which was a fatal mistake on my part. I tried to react fast enough to counter his rushing. It was a mistake that I made, but it still pulled through because he didn't engage me with enough infantry.
Now I can see that some of your line infantry are taking some extremely heavy casualties. You did detach one unit of them to attack his other unit of line infantry as you moved up some reserves. Mainly, though, you have taken out most of his skirmishers. You are also moving a unit of line infantry to attack his 24-pound foot artillery. Another thing that I could really mention to all of you who are viewing this, you want to make sure that you're engaging all of your units, unless, of course, you like having reserves sit by, such as I'm seeing right here with you. If you do have reserves, that's fine, but you want to make sure not only are you engaging all of your skirmishers, you want to make sure you're engaging all of your infantry as well. If you have any standing by at all, make sure you get them into the battle as quick as possible. Maybe in a flanking maneuver or anything like that. You don't want them sitting by like you have your riflemen up here. Going back to my side of the battle again, Tsar Lukasavage, he has charged his light dragoons into pretty much a dead end. My Marines are elite infantry. Not only do they have high attack and defense, their accuracy is also deadly. When I see that he's charging his cavalry to my men, I detached a unit of Marines to, well, provide crossfire into the cavalry, which will limit their effectiveness and rout them quicker than anything that melee could possibly do.
Something else that I noticed, I don't feel that you were really focused on your flank, which he had ample opportunity to hit you on the flank, but you were more distracted with the light dragoons.
Yeah, one thing you always have to keep in mind, what is your opponent's motives for doing certain things? What is the possible gain of his actions? If there is anything that you can counter, you want to make sure that you have the adequate forces to counter any action that your opponent has. Napoleon mentions that many times in his book, The Art of War. Your opponent, he's going to perform certain actions, and if you have the means to counteract that, you are setting yourself up for victory. Right now, my opponent is fighting a losing battle on this hill. My quicklime has killed many of his men, and he hasn't really inflicted any casualties on me at all. He's firing into the hill, so he's not able to do anything. All of his cavalry has begun to rout, so his last-ditch effort is to charge his elite Simonovsky foot guards into my Marines. Unfortunately for him, though, I outnumber him on his extreme right now, so you're going to see that his men are going to be quickly falling at this point in the battle. Now, what were you thinking for your side of the battle right now? It seems like he only has a few units of riflemen and a couple cannons left. What was your main goal in finishing Sweden?
My main goal was to finish off the cannons. The cannons are very good at taking out mass groups of infantry, so I tried my best to take them out with minimal casualties.
Now, as far as using Poland Lithuania, what is it that you like about Poland Lithuania? What do you think are the drawbacks of them? Anything that you'd recommend to our viewers?
Well, if you're going to be Poland Lithuania, I highly recommend the Winged Hussars. I did not bring any to this battle, but every other battle I would use with Poland Lithuania would be with Winged Hussars.
Alright, so it looks like you have Sweden finished off at this point, except for his cannons that are still firing at you. I will applaud Sweden for this move. His cannons are at an ideal position for firing down on your men. That is one thing that he did right. Now, as far as the melee battle goes, My men are slaughtering his Semenovsky foot guard, and the other unit of light infantry has also begun to waver and rout. My legion are now taking shots at his light infantry. He has lost his extreme right, and he knows this. He has sent a few units of infantry up the top of the hill. That is one thing that Tsar Lucas Savage did absolutely correctly. He is now shooting downward onto my legion, and you can see that we're taking some pretty heavy casualties now at this point. On my extreme right, my riflemen are taking shots at his infantry and cavalry now. Not only do they have them outranged, but their accuracy is absolutely excellent, one of the best in the game. Long riflemen, I would say, is the largest asset that the United States has.
I completely agree. The ability to walk and hide at the same time really helps with the element surprise. I know that another faction, Austria, has light infantry, the Windbush Jaegers, that can walk and hide as well, and they are devastating.
I haven't exactly tested it out myself, but I hear that the Windbush Jaegers can hide while they're firing. Is that true?
That is also true. If you have them in a forest area or even in plain sight, they hide while firing, and it is very effective and very deadly for skirmishing.
One thing that you can see, even though my legion are shooting upward at Russia, my quicklime is doing heavy casualties on his line infantry. And now that they're in range and at a position where my legion can fire at them, they're also going to be taking some pretty serious casualties. On your side, you have finished Sweden. They didn't really put up much of a fight, like I said. It was a lack of awareness on his part. His cannons, they weren't very well defended, even though they did inflict some casualties on you. Not much of a challenge. What you did was a quick envelopment pattern, where you had a crossfire set up on every side of them, really.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I could take him out quickly and efficiently and come over to your aid if you needed any help.
Well, that is actually our battle. We have routed all of their units. So a good game to Dysphoria and Tsar Lucas Savage. For those of you who are viewing this video, I urge you to check out the Council of Premiers website. Me and Grand Marshal Selah are, in fact, the leaders of the Council of Premiers. So for those elite players who want to get better at this game, I suggest that you check out our website and view some more of our videos, actually. So I killed 997, lost 377, and Grand Marshal Selah killed 912, lost 580. Our opponents, on the other hand, didn't do so hot. Tsar Lucas Savage lost 332 men and lost 1,112. He killed 500. Dysphoria killed 513, and he lost 1,071. So good game to our opponents. And like I said, please be sure to check out our clan page.